Most websites don't have 10 conversion problems. They usually have one thing quietly costing them signups every single day. Today, I'm putting Airtable.com through my CRO tool to find the single highest impact change they could make to improve conversions. And this one is interesting because Airtable is a very polished product. Great brand. Great design. But even really good websites can still hide small conversion leaks. Airtable is basically a flexible database platform. Think spreadsheets, but way more powerful. Teams use it to build internal tools, manage projects, track workflows, and connect data across departments. It's incredibly flexible, and that flexibility is part of the challenge. The homepage has a simple job. Take visitors who are curious about Airtable and move them into the free sign-up flow. That's it. Everything on the page should push toward that next step. When you land on the page, the message is clear. The headline says, all your teams, all their workflows, connected in one workspace. That's strong positioning. It communicates collaboration. It communicates centralization. And it hints at the idea that Airtable can unify different tools and processes in one place. Below that, you see supporting copy explaining how teams can build AI-powered workflows that unify data, maximize collaboration, and set teams up for long-term success. So the value proposition is doing its job. But then we get to the main action. Right under the headline, you see two buttons, Get Started for Free and Book Demo. Those are the two paths Airtable wants users to take, self-serve sign-up or sales-assisted onboarding. When I ran this page through my tool, FirstFix, it flagged something subtle but important. The primary call to action, get started for free, is not visually dominant enough to grab attention immediately. In other words, the button exists, but it doesn't win the attention battle. And on a homepage, attention is everything. When someone lands on a site, they're not reading carefully. They're scanning very fast. Their brain is asking three questions almost instantly. What is this? Is this relevant to me? And what do I do next? If the answer to that third question is obvious, people move forward. If the answer blends into the design, people hesitate. And hesitation is where conversions drop. On the Airtable page, the CTA button is styled similarly to other elements on the page. Similar color, similar visual weight, similar spacing. So instead of the eye landing immediately on the sign-up action, the visitor's attention spreads across the entire hero section. You read the headline, you see the product visual, you notice the supporting copy, but the action itself doesn't jump out strongly enough, and that slows momentum. The fix here is actually pretty simple. Increase the visual dominance of the Get Started for Free button. There are a few ways to do this. First, increase contrast. Use a stronger color that clearly separates the primary CTA from the rest of the page elements. When someone lands on the page, the button should instantly stand out. Second, isolate the CTA slightly more. Right now, it sits comfortably inside the layout, but giving it a little more breathing room can draw the eye directly to it. Third, reduce competition around the button. If everything around the CTA has equal visual weight, nothing wins attention. But if the CTA clearly wins the hierarchy, the decision becomes easier. This is one of the core ideas in conversion design. Pages should not be visually balanced. They should be visually biased toward the action you want users to take. Good design often tries to make everything look harmonious, but high converting design prioritizes the next step. If the eye naturally flows from headline to value to button, the visitor moves forward without thinking. If the eye has to search for the action even for a second, you introduce friction, and friction always lowers conversion rates. For a company like Airtable, that matters. They get massive traffic, so even a small improvement in CTA visibility can translate into a lot more free users entering the product. And that's exactly why I built FirstFix. Most websites don't need a full redesign. They don't need a complete brand overhaul. They usually just need one smart change that removes the biggest conversion leak first. If you want to see what that change might be for your own site, run it through the tool. Go to firstfix.dev, paste your URL, and it will show you the single highest impact fix to test first. Sometimes the difference between a good homepage and a high converting one is just one small fix. You just have to spot it.